Have you ever dreamed of packing your bags, boarding a plane, and finally checking off those bucket list destinations? After all, you've worked hard your whole life. Don't you deserve to enjoy the world now that you have the time? But what if that dream vacation turns into something you never expected? A health crisis, a financial disaster, or worse, a painful memory that lingers far longer than the trip itself. If you're over 70 and planning to travel, this video is for you. The truth is, travel after 70 isn't as simple as it used to be. Your body, your energy, and your ability to bounce back aren't what they once were, and that's okay. What's not okay is heading out into the world unprepared for the very real risks that come with age. Most people never hear about these dangers until they're already knee-deep in trouble, stranded at a foreign hospital with no insurance, laid up in bed from a fall, or drained by a trip that was supposed to bring joy. We're not here to scare you. We're here to protect you. In this video, we're revealing 5 hidden dangers that every senior traveler needs to know. These aren't just minor inconveniences. They're risks that could impact your health, your finances, and your independence. Stick with me to the end, because the final danger is one most seniors never see coming, but it could cost you everything. Let's dive in. Danger 1. Health emergencies far from home. Imagine being thousands of miles from home in a place where you don't speak the language, and suddenly you feel a sharp pain in your chest. You don't know where the nearest hospital is. You don't know if your insurance will cover the cost. And the one thing you need most, urgent medical care, might be hours away. This is not a rare story. For seniors over 70, health emergencies are one of the most serious and unpredictable dangers of travel. As we age, our bodies become less predictable. Conditions like high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, and respiratory issues are far more common and far more dangerous when you're far from your regular doctor. Long flights increase the risk of blood clots. High altitudes can strain your heart and lungs, and even something as simple as dehydration can spiral into an emergency in an unfamiliar climate. Consider James, a healthy, active 74-year-old who booked a relaxing cruise with his wife. 4 days in, he felt a crushing pain in his chest. The ship's clinic could only do so much. He needed a hospital, but they were in the middle of the ocean. He had to wait for an emergency evacuation to the nearest port. Hours passed. Fortunately, James survived. But he returned home shaken, saying, "I never thought this could happen to me. That's the point. Most seniors don't. And the financial side, even worse. Many seniors assume their health insurance will work overseas, but most plans don't cover international care. One emergency room visit abroad can cost thousands, especially without travel insurance. If you're over 70 and planning a trip, do this first. Schedule a full health check with your doctor. Get all your medications in order. And never travel without comprehensive insurance that includes emergency evacuation. Because when you're far from home, every second counts. And your health should never be left to chance. Danger 2. Exposure to infections and contaminants. You've finally reached your dream destination. The weather is perfect, the streets are buzzing with life, but just 2 days in, you're stuck in bed with fever, chills, and stomach cramps. Suddenly, sightseeing is the last thing on your mind. For seniors over 70, infections aren't just inconvenient, they're dangerous. As we age, our immune systems grow weaker. That means the germs and bacteria that a younger person might fight off in a day could put an older adult in the hospital. Traveling exposes you to environments your body isn't used to. Crowded airports, packed airplanes, public restrooms, and unfamiliar food and water. Airplanes are especially risky. Hours of recycled air, people from all over the world, and tight quarters make it a perfect breeding ground for respiratory illnesses. The flu, pneumonia, or even a common cold can hit harder and last longer for seniors. Then there's the food. Trying new dishes can be exciting, but unfamiliar spices, undercooked meals, and untreated water can quickly lead to food poisoning or severe digestive issues. One sip of tap water or a salad washed in local water might leave you reeling for days. Public surfaces like elevator buttons, hotel remotes, and seatbelts often harbor unseen germs. And if you use a cane, walker, or need to touch surfaces for balance, the risk multiplies. But there are ways to protect yourself. Carry hand sanitizer. Wear a mask in crowded places. Drink only bottled or filtered water. Avoid raw foods and stick to fully cooked meals. And before any international trip, ask your doctor about recommended vaccines and bring medications for stomach or respiratory problems, just in case. Because when it comes to your health abroad, being cautious isn't overreacting, it's smart and possibly life-saving. Danger 3. Travel fatigue and recovery challenges. At first, the idea of travel feels energizing. New places, new experiences, beautiful sights. But for many seniors, the reality hits hard once the trip begins. Overwhelming exhaustion, brain fog, sore joints, and a lingering fatigue that won't go away. After 70, your body doesn't bounce back the way it used to. Long flights, early mornings, delays, unfamiliar time zones, and hours of walking can take a serious toll. And that fatigue doesn't just affect how you feel, it affects how you function. Consider Richard, 75 years old and excited for an overseas adventure with his wife. He was active and independent at home, but after a 10-hour flight, navigating busy airports and adjusting to a 6-hour time difference, Richard was already drained before the sightseeing even started. He struggled to walk long distances, couldn't stay awake during tours, and needed constant breaks. By the time he adjusted, it was already time to go home, and the exhaustion followed him for weeks. Travel fatigue hits harder in older adults. Poor sleep, strange hotel beds, noisy environments, and jet lag can lead to insomnia, confusion, and a weakened immune system. Add dehydration, inconsistent meals, and stress. And suddenly, the trip you looked forward to becomes something you can't wait to recover from. So how do you protect yourself? Plan for rest days. Take shorter flights with layovers. Stay hydrated. Don't pack your schedule from morning to night. Bring nutritious snacks and listen to your body. You don't have to see everything in one day because travel should leave you with memories, not migraines, muscle aches, or medical bills. Knowing your limits isn't weakness, it's wisdom, and it's the key to enjoying the journey at your own pace. Danger 4. Risk of falls and injuries. You've packed carefully, booked the perfect hotel, and made your itinerary. But one unexpected misstep, a loose stone, a dimly lit stairway, or an uneven curb, can send everything crashing down. Or seniors over 70, the risk of falling while traveling is not just real, it's life-altering. As we age, our balance and reflexes naturally decline. Bone density weakens, joints grow stiff. What might have been a minor stumble in your living room can turn into a broken hip or fractured wrist on foreign soil. And when you're far from home, getting proper care isn't always easy or quick. Take Linda, 78 years old and full of energy. She'd always dreamed of walking the cobbled streets of Italy. On her third night in Florence, she stepped off a curb in a dim alley and slipped. The result? A broken hip, emergency surgery, and a trip cut short. Months later, she was still recovering. What was supposed to be the adventure of a lifetime became a long, painful detour she never anticipated. The truth is, many destinations aren't senior-friendly. Cruise ships, historic sites, and scenic towns often have narrow stairs, slippery walkways, and little accessibility. Add fatigue, jet lag, and unfamiliar surroundings, and the danger increases tenfold. So how do you stay safe? Choose destinations with accessibility in mind. Use a walking stick if needed. Wear supportive, non-slip shoes. Avoid sightseeing at night or in poorly lit areas. Take your time, and don't be afraid to ask for help, because one fall can change everything. Travel should bring joy, not jeopardize your independence. Recognizing the risk isn't being fearful, it's being prepared, and it might be the difference between a beautiful trip and one you regret for years. Danger I. Financial traps and travel insurance pitfalls. You've saved for this moment. You've budgeted, planned, and maybe even splurged a little because you deserve it. But what if one unexpected event turns your dream vacation into a financial nightmare? For seniors over 70, the hidden costs of travel aren't just about overpriced meals or luggage fees. They're about the massive, unexpected expenses that come with health emergencies, cancellations, and scams. One of the biggest misconceptions: that your regular health insurance will cover you abroad. In most cases, it won't. If you end up in a foreign hospital, you could be facing thousands, even tens of thousands, in medical bills. Emergency evacuations, like being airlifted to a proper facility, can cost more than some people's life savings. And what if you have to cancel your trip at the last minute due to a health issue? Airlines, cruise lines, and tour companies are rarely forgiving. Without the right travel insurance, you could lose every dollar you've invested. Then there's the rising threat of scams. Seniors are often targeted because scammers assume they're polite, unfamiliar with the area, or too trusting. From fake vacation packages to credit card skimming at local shops, the financial traps are everywhere. Take George, 76, who booked a tropical getaway online. When he arrived, the hotel didn't exist. He was stranded in a foreign country. No refund, no recourse, no place to stay. He ended up spending double his budget just to get through the week. So how do you protect yourself? Never travel without comprehensive insurance that includes medical care, trip cancellation, and emergency evacuation. Only book with trusted companies. Be cautious with your cash, your cards, and your trust, because peace of mind is worth far more than a discounted deal, and losing your savings is a price no trip is worth. Final thoughts. Should you still travel after 70? So after everything we've covered, should you still travel after 70? The answer isn't a simple yes or no. It's about how you travel. Traveling in your later years isn't off limits, but it requires more care, more planning, and more honesty about your limitations. The risks are real: sudden health emergencies, hidden infections, dangerous falls, exhausting schedules, and devastating financial surprises. But so are the rewards: new experiences, deeper connections, and memories you'll treasure forever. The key is to travel smarter, not harder. Instead of exhausting international tours, consider local getaways. Instead of jam-packed itineraries, leave room for rest and flexibility. Choose destinations with easy access to medical care. Protect yourself with strong insurance, and don't ignore the signs your body gives you. Because at this stage in life, quality matters more than quantity. If you're planning a trip or helping a loved one prepare, ask the hard questions now, so you don't face the hard consequences later. Safe travel isn't just about getting from one place to another. It's about returning home with your health, your finances, and your spirit intact. You've earned the right to enjoy your golden years. Let's make sure they're safe, meaningful, and full of joy.